Guys, welcome back. I hope everybody is having a great day as always. We're here with Shy from Custom Clear Tech. Shy, what's up?
What's going on? Nice seeing y'all again.
Yes, again. So he did the PPF on my special edition 7th anniversary C8 Corvette. Well, I'll just say it now. This is the replacement for that Corvette. He also did the PPF on my Mustang Dark Horse. That was my daily driver. A lot of people really flipped out when I made that video. I had to pin a comment to try to explain. But yes, we have the GT500. This is a 2020 with a handling package. And Shy is doing an amazing job as usual. And I can't thank him enough for his scheduling. But this was kind of like last minute, right? When I hit you up?
Yeah, normally we can't fit it in that quickly, but...
Yeah, man. So, it was random, but not random. I was looking out for a GT500 while I had my Dark Horse. I said that when I purchased a Dark Horse that we had something coming, and this is it. So I couldn't turn down a deal. I mean, this is 5,000 miles on it, handling package, painted stripes. This is something we are definitely going to talk about as far as Shy doing a PPF. Shy, how long you been in business now?
I'd say my wife and I have been in business about 15 years, but I've been doing it for like 24
years.
Yeah.
So my man has been all over. Could I say that? Do you travel out of state as well?
Oh yeah, we have clients that live here in the DMV area, but they have race teams in New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware,
so you're
Jersey.
Yeah.
So, you know, sometimes when they ask me to go cover their race cars or a collection of cars, we'll go wherever they want.
Yeah. So again, I can't express my gratitude for him. Jeff from Pursuit Reflection, that's currently where we are. He will be doing a ceramic coat on this car, as he did all the rest of my cars. Jeff is not here right now, but we will have a separate upload for the ceramic coat. And I hit him up last minute as usual, hence the name of the channel. My calculated randomness. I am calculating my finances, and this was a random purchase. Sort of. Again, I was looking, but when it came up, I had to jump on it, so I did. So we are here now, and what are we doing now? You're doing a full PPF on just the front?
Right. We're doing our premium package as you always request. We're doing a full hood, entire fenders wrapped. We'll wrap all the corners, mirrors, entire front bumper, including these black pieces here. And then on the hood, we have these louver pieces that will also get covered. Yeah.
And one of the key things I was mentioning before, if you guys have ever looked into purchasing one of these GT500s, you had an option when you were building these cars new from the dealership. And one of those options, a lot of people did not choose. That was a $10,000 stripe option. The reason why I bring that up, because if you're going to get PPF, this is extremely, extremely important. It's always important to get PPF on your car, don't get me wrong. But especially if you have painted stripes, especially for these price points, because once these things get chipped up, you're going to have to get them repainted over and over and over, which would absolutely suck, and I'm sure would be very expensive, versus having vinyl where you can just peel them off and put the stripes back on. That is if you had vinyl stripes, obviously, before your ceramic coat or PPF. So I've seen ceramic coats which were absolutely amazing, and some people chose to get the vinyl stripes taken off and then get them put on top of PPF. I've seen them under PPF. End of the day, if you got painted stripes, you absolutely need to get PPF on there, hopefully before there's too much damage, which leads us to the front of the car. So Jeff did his magic the best he could on this car. He pretty much just got the car prepped for Shy to put the PPF on here. And the front of this car has a lot of chips on the front. It may be hard to tell right now because Jeff did his magic prepping this car and Shy is doing his getting the PPF applied. But that's one thing you got to worry about, right? So whoever had this car before me, because again, this is pre-owned with roughly 5,000 some miles, they drove the car not too hard, but they drove the car without PPF, which absolutely blows my mind. I don't know why you would do that.
I don't understand that.
Could be a budget thing, could be a preference thing, who knows. So I'm very fortunate that it wasn't too bad, but you know, with a PPF you can only do the best you possibly can, and with a ceramic coat to get some of that out before the PPF, we'll see what happens. But at the end of the day, it won't get worse. So I highly, highly recommend, especially if you're looking for a GT500 with painted stripes, to get PPF applied, regardless, but especially with the painted stripes. But looking over the car, one thing that you can look for on these cars in particular is the radiator. So if you look really closely, there's some very, very small damage on the radiator, which is good. You can have a car with 5,000 miles and have your radiators look like Swiss cheese, which means they've been racing that car on a track. The car has been ran hard. You might want to think twice about buying that car. In this case, when I was looking for this car, that is one of the first things I looked at, and it doesn't look like this car was ran hard, at least not on the track. If it did, like I said, that would look a lot worse. But we're here right now. I can't wait for this to get done. You also have other options too, right?
Yeah, so we basically have our pre-package that we came up with, but some folks will make their own package. I have some folks, believe it or not, will have a full front bumper, entire hood, but no fenders. And some folks will want partial fenders, and some folks just want a front bumper. Whatever you require, we'll take care of it. We do full cars on a normal. We do that quite a bit.
You do wraps too?
We do. We don't advertise it because our business is primary PPF, but we have so many clients that know that we do it, and they request it every now and again.
Right.
And we ask that people, normally don't just call up asking. We normally it's basically a referral.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So because our bread and butter, what we do every single day is PPF. So.
Yeah, well, it's quite evident that you've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
My man knocks us out. Like, I'm watching him work, and it's amazing.
Yeah, we don't hold people's cars hostage.
No.
Like some people. People will drop their cars off, when they do a full car, we'll pick it up in our enclosed trailer. We'll pick it up, we'll bring it back. We tell them it's going to take 5 days, and that's 5 days from pickup to drop off.
That's a full car.
That's a full car. We don't hold people's cars hostage. Some people out there do like what we're doing today, which is our premium package: full hood, full fenders, mirrors, headlights, and front bumper, and all these pieces. Look, this is a day job. I want people to enjoy their vehicles, So after we're done today, you'll probably get out there and enjoy it finally.
Yeah. And you know what? He's true to his word too. You have a lot of companies out there that say a lot of things. They'll say whatever it takes to get the sale, which drives me up the freaking wall.
Yeah.
Shy, especially Jeff, neither one of them are like that. If they were, I would not be here. But yeah, that brings a very good point. So if you're going to get your car full PPF, obviously you reach out to him. I'll put all his information throughout the video. And there is an option. If I'm not mistaken, there's an option for you guys to pick it up in an enclosed trailer, depending on distance.
we do it. It don't matter where you live. If you're, like I said, we service all of the DMV, but we do have clients in Delaware and New York, things like that. Of course, there's a charge if you're out of the DMV for pickup and drop off, but we do it quite often. So, and it's better that way. Because we used to do it where we would travel to the customer's home, because we're 100% mobile. We'll go out there to wherever you're at. If you have a garage, we'll work on your vehicle. But when it comes to full cars, it's a lot more efficient for us to just pick it up in our trailer, enclosed trailer, bring it back to our place. We pull it out. We get it prepped, decontaminated, things like that, clean it up real good, and then I'll start the process. And then 5 days later, you'll get your vehicle back. It's very rare that we go past 5 days. It's only certain vehicles that are a lot larger that would maybe take like a day or two extra.
And a lot of your stuff, I mean, it depends on what it is, but you also do custom cuts as well.
Correct. So a lot of folks here, I mean, I guess that's what I was known for back in the day was, a lot back in the day, 24 some odd years ago, there was kits back then, but the way I learned was sometimes you got to improvise. So you have to learn the skill of cutting. So sometimes someone will say, I like the kit, Shy, but you know what? I want it above and beyond. I want something extra, where they want something wrapped tight. I'll be able to do that for them. I'll custom cut something by hand.
I've seen it.
And rest assured, you won't have any problems like some folks out there, worried about cutting on the paint.
Man.
I make sure that we don't do that, because you know what? It's a lot cheaper to snap these blades off than it is to be lazy and not snap them off and cut with a dull blade, because when you cut with a dull blade, you're pushing harder.
Right.
And there's a risk there. So, it's a lot cheaper to go ahead and snap these blades off and replace these blades often than it is to repaint someone's vehicle. So
that's good advice from a man that's been doing this for over 2 decades. So if you guys are listening, or if anybody's interested in learning how to do this, I would highly take his advice. But that's a very good point. I've seen, and it doesn't matter how much money you got. It don't matter what kind of car you've got. I've seen it all. I've seen cars that are almost $1 million down to $500,000 and so on and so on. And the PPF was horrendous. Horrendous. Having said that, there's some people, for whatever reason, there's some people that just don't care. Some of them got throwaway money. Some of them just don't know any better. They might have a really nice car, but they don't know a lot about cars. So when I see that, sometimes I just try to know my place, and I try to get a feel for the person if I should or should not say anything. Because at the end of the day, it's not my business. It really isn't. But if I feel like we have a connection, I can actually relate to them or talk to them, I'll give them a heads up. I say, hey, if you don't mind, can I point something out to you? And then I show them, and a lot of times they are shocked. And then they're like, what should I do? And I try not to overstep my boundaries of what people should do with their finances or their relationships with the business they're working with. I can recommend to them people that I work with, obviously Shy and Jeff with Pursuit of Reflection doing all the ceramic coat, but I try not to overstep any boundaries. But anyway, so back to what he was saying. If you want to get a full PPF on, he's got options, and anywhere you need the car picked up, they have that option available as well. Keyword is enclosed trailers. I've seen all kinds of cars picked up in all kinds of ways, and I have to shake my head. It's a little crazy.
And that's the thing. That's very important. I don't care if it's a GT500 or a Honda Civic or whatever have you. I think that handling people's property should be priority number one. And the thing about it is you have to know what you're doing. You can't just start slapping on PPF. It starts from picking it up. It starts from communicating with the customer. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing.
You got that right. So. That is the truth. So when you're doing, this is something that some people just don't understand, but when you're doing PPF, especially on a front bumper, whether it's polyurethane or if it's fiberglass or whatever it may be, you're going to tuck it the best you can, but the understanding that there is going to be some flex in this bumper as you drive it.
Correct. Well, the goal is to try to always do as tight of an install as you can possibly, because there is the option of taking things apart, but I've learned through my years that it's not worth it unless the customer is 100% okay with replacing clips and replacing certain fasteners that break in the process, because some of these things, the way these cars are put together, in my opinion, they're one-time use. So and I'm not in that service, to be honest with you. I can take things apart and I can probably get it tighter, but I'm so tight now. If you zoom close, I'm so tight now. Why would you want any tighter than that? I mean, it's so tight. It's right up to the line. Yeah, it's right up to the edge. So to get tighter, is it really worth it? You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not. And we're a mobile service. We're 100% mobile, and that's what a lot of our clients like about us. Now, if I had a shop where I can hold your car hostage for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, then that's a different story.
Right.
But I offer the service and the convenience of, we go to you, we take care of the job. It's a one-day process. Most of our kits are one-day process, and you can go about your business. That's how it is. Taking things apart require more finesse.
Absolutely.
And more care,
And that's a beautiful thing, let me tell you what. Not to mention, panel gaps. Fortunately for this car, the panel gaps, it looks like from the factory, have been pretty much on point. But there is no guarantee, and obviously he would do the best if he could, right? If he had to take off all the panels, that they're going to be absolutely perfect. I mean, what a pain in the butt that is. So I've seen people have their cars taken apart for PPF, and them panel gaps, they weren't looking too good. I don't know how good they were looking for factory, but they weren't looking good at the end. So the customer wasn't happy. But I would highly recommend before you get your car done, if that is something you're concerned about, make sure to see what your panel gaps even are. If your car is already perfect and you don't need to have your car taken apart, my opinion, I mean, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, this car right here is a perfect candidate of you don't have to take anything apart on this thing.
Yeah.
It's, you know, this is...
I couldn't be happier, dude. I'm so excited. I literally picked this car up and then went right to my garage. And when I called Shy, he said, don't drive it. All right, guys. And just like that, Shy is done. Actually, it's definitely, 2 seconds for you guys. My man's been working all day since, like, I don't know, 11, 12 o'clock on this thing. So definitely not a 2-second job, but he's done. This car looks freaking amazing. It's going to be very difficult for me to show you where this PPF ends because he tucks it so tight in here. So basically, this whole front is done. And if you've ever seen any of my cars, or if you ever bought any of my cars, because I've gone through a lot of cars. You guys are very fortunate as buying my cars as pre-owned, because a lot of people can't even tell the PPF is on there until you really, really look. So it is tucked to the very, very edges.
Oh, yeah.
Custom cut all the way around. He also put it over the vinyl down here on the bottom, which I didn't even know he was going to do that, which is awesome. And then this is the mirror. It's just got to be wiped off, but, you know, it's hard for me to show where he did it because he did such a good job. But lo and behold, it is on there. Shai, is there any problems?
Oh, no.
Pretty easy?
Smooth. You know, done enough of these to pretty much know what to do, you know, without even thinking about it. And it was very smooth. And the car's in like great condition, actually.
Oh, yeah. Now, it's a lot easier to do painted stripes, right? Over on top of vinyl?
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Preferred, but, you know, even if you had vinyl stripes, we can still do something about it.
Yeah, that's what we did with Dark Horse.
Right.
So if you guys ever want to get a Dark Horse done, you got the vinyl stripes on the top. He said it's a lot of work. It was not fun.
Yeah.
But he can do it with one piece of PPF, like he did on my Dark Horse. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because the Dark Horse, you know, with vinyl, the problem with the vinyl stripes is it creates an air gap between the silver and the black. Let's just assume that these were vinyl, but they're not. You'll create an air gap right here. So what we do is we give the client an option of either we go over it and leave it and let these air gaps, I'll heat it up and then I'll dry them up as much as possible. They're very minimal in terms of visibility, but they're there, and some folks are a lot more particular than some. So then we would cut right here along it so that it takes out that air gap, and then you can't tell. Right. But because these are painted, it just makes it a lot smoother transition.
Oh, yeah.
A lot better coverage, a lot less, you know, room for any debris getting caught up in between, you know. So
for $10,000, it better be.
It better be, yeah. And like I said, we covered all these, you know, louvers.
Yeah. So he was telling me that. So when I talked to him about doing the front, I didn't even think about this, and he kind of just told me, said, "Hey, look, you know, I could put PPF over across here," and I was like, "Absolutely." Yeah. And again, it's just so hard to show where he stopped at because everything is to the very, very edge. There's nothing worse than seeing a PPF job where somebody leaves these big old gaps, and you can look 5 feet away and tell they got PPF. If you can do that, in my opinion, they didn't do a good job. Just my opinion. Just putting it out there. But guys, he has had one heck of a long day. I know he's used to it, but I don't want to hold him up any longer.
It's every day for me because we, like I said, we offer the same day service. You know, we don't carry over. So
yes. So if you can tell, it's dark out. So
definitely
the same day. Definitely the same day.
But yeah, it's always nice to work on these things, though.
Oh yeah,
pleasure working on these things. So.
It's gonna be a pleasure driving it. I can't wait.
Yeah, I know.
Now I ain't got no excuses, man.
I'm excited for you.
Hell yeah! And this is a 2020, man. So the previous owner, if you ever see this, thank you for taking care of your car. I will continue to do so as I continue the ownership, and I don't plan. I know I say this. I know. I get it. I don't plan on getting rid of this car. So Jeff, Pursuit of Reflection. Thank you so much for letting us use your space, and we'll be seeing you soon. Shy, we're out of here.
All right.
Shy's gonna go home and get some rest. And Custom Clear Tech, I will put all the information throughout the video if you guys are interested, or link below for all his information as well. And you guys have a good night, and I will see you at the next upload.